Michelle Duggar today passed away and Jim Bob hospitalized. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The morning sun over Town, Arkansas, was unusually pale, hidden behind layers of heavy clouds rolling slowly across the horizon. It was the kind of morning that carried a strange weight, an uneasy silence, an invisible heaviness sitting on the shoulders of everyone who woke up to it. And for the Duggar family, this day would become the darkest in their history, one that would change every relationship, every connection, every hope they had been holding on to. A quiet beginning. Michelle Duggar woke up around 5:15 a.m., the same time she always did. Even though most of her children no longer lived at home, she kept her routine: prayer, coffee, a gentle walk through the garden behind the house. She had been feeling a little tired the past few days, but brushed it off as stress. With so many family happenings, interviews, disagreements, and rumors floating online, she often forgot to take care of herself. But this morning felt different. As she stepped outside, the air felt heavier than usual. Her breath was shallow, her steps slower. She pressed her palm against her chest, feeling a strange tightness, one she had felt subtly before, but never like this. Her husband, Jim Bob, was still sleeping upstairs. He had been exhausted lately too, meetings, family drama, and multiple health checkups he kept avoiding because he didn't want anyone to worry. He believed he was strong enough to push through anything. But today would prove him wrong. Michelle whispered a short prayer as she walked toward the garden gate. That's when the world began to spin. The collapse at 5:43 a.m. A sudden, sharp pain shot through Michelle's chest. She gasped, clutching her heart. The pain was blinding, like a force squeezing the life out of her. For a moment, she tried to call out, "Jim Bob," but her voice was barely a whisper carried away by the morning breeze. Her legs gave out beneath her, and she collapsed beside the rose bushes she loved so much. Inside the house, the only sound was the ticking of the kitchen clock. No one saw her fall. No one heard her cry for help. It wasn't until 6:12 a.m., almost 30 minutes later, that Jim Bob woke up. He reached for Michelle's side of the bed and found it empty. It wasn't unusual, but something felt wrong. Maybe it was instinct, maybe divine warning, or maybe simply love, but he felt something tugging at him, urging him to check on her. When he walked outside and saw her motionless on the ground, his heart shattered. "Michelle, Michelle, answer me," he screamed, dropping to his knees. His hands trembled as he checked her pulse, weak, fading. His own chest tightened in fear. He grabbed his phone with shaking fingers and dialed 911. Emergency response. The call went out at 6:17 a.m. 911. "What's your emergency?" My wife collapsed. "She's not breathing well. She's not responding." "Please hurry, sir." "Calm down. What is your address?" "Is she breathing at all?" "She's trying, barely. Please send help." Within minutes, sirens filled the morning air, echoing throughout the town. Neighbors peeked out of windows. Few dared to approach. Everyone knew the Duggar family, but no one expected something like this. 2 ambulances and a fire truck stopped in front of the house. Paramedics rushed to Michelle, immediately recognizing the severity. "Her vitals are crashing. We need to move her." NOW. Jim Bob stood frozen, helpless, tears streaming down his face. He tried to follow, but as he took a step forward, a wave of dizziness hit him. His breathing sped up, and he clutched his chest. "Sir, are you okay?" one paramedic asked. I just need to be with her," but he couldn't finish the sentence. His knees buckled, and he collapsed in the driveway. Double emergency. The paramedics were stunned. Husband and wife collapsing at the same time. "Get a second stretcher." "Now." Jim Bob's heart rate was dangerously high, his breathing shallow. He was in no condition to ride with Michelle. They loaded both into separate ambulances, each speeding toward Washington Regional Medical Center. The Duggar home, once full of noise, laughter, and chaos, was now eerily silent. Family news spreads at 7:11 a.m. Jana Duggar's phone buzzed. Unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. "This is Jana." "Ma'am, this is Washington Regional Medical Center. Your parents, Michelle and Jim Bob, have been admitted. It's an emergency. We need you to come immediately." Her heart dropped. What happened? Are they okay? Tell me what's going on. We'll explain everything when you arrive. Please come as soon as possible. Jana dropped her phone and burst into tears. Within minutes, she called Jessa, Jill, Duggar, and the rest of her siblings. The group chat exploded. How is this real? Where are they? Someone tell me what happened. The siblings scrambled to pack bags, grab keys, arrange childcare, book flights. Everyone moving fast, desperate for answers. The waiting room buzzed with tension as siblings arrived one by one. Jessa hugged Jana tightly, both crying. "Oh, you know anything?" Jessa asked. "No. Nothing. They wouldn't tell me." An hour passed. Then 2. Finally, a doctor walked toward them, removing his gloves, his eyes tired. Family of Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar? All the siblings stood, terrified. The doctor sighed, bracing himself. "The devastating news. I'll start with Michelle," he said softly. "She suffered a major cardiac arrest. We attempted resuscitation for nearly 40 minutes. We did everything we could." Jana's hand flew to her mouth. Jill collapsed into her husband's arms. Jessa shook her head violently, whispering, "No, no, no." The doctor continued, "I'm deeply sorry. Michelle passed away at 7:58 a.m. The world seemed to stop. Crying erupted. Screams. Despair echoing through the hallway. No one could believe it. Michelle, the heart of the family, the gentle mother of 19 children, gone. But the nightmare wasn't over. And your father?" the doctor continued, pausing. "What about Dad?" Josiah demanded. "He suffered severe stress-induced cardiac complications. His heart is unstable. He is currently in intensive care." Duggar swallowed hard. "Is he going to live?" "We can't say yet. The next 24 hours are critical. He's unconscious." More sobbing. The family was cracked open, broken in ways they didn't know was possible. The media stormed. By midday, the news had already leaked online. Breaking: Michelle Duggar has passed away. Jim Bob Duggar hospitalized after medical emergency. Duggar family in crisis. Reporters surrounded the hospital entrance. Camera flashes lit up the sidewalks. Fans and critics flooded social media with shock, prayers, and speculation. Some commenters were compassionate. Some were cruel. Some were accusing. Some were spreading rumors. The family ignored all of it. They were too busy grieving. Goodbye to Michelle. At 3:45 p.m., the hospital allowed the oldest children to see Michelle before she was taken to the morgue. Her body lay still, peaceful, untouched by the pain she had endured. She looked like she was simply resting. Jana held her mother's hand, whispering through tears, "You always told me God gives strength, but right now, I don't feel strong at all." Jessa kissed her forehead. "Mom, how do we go on without you?" Duggar sobbed uncontrollably. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to lose you." Jill leaned over her, praying through tears, pleading for one more moment, one more smile. But Michelle was gone. Jim Bob fights for life. That evening, the doctor returned with an update on Jim Bob. "He's stable for now, but he hasn't woken up. His heart is weak." "Can we see him?" Jana asked. "Only 2 at a time." Jana and Jessa entered first. Jim Bob lay unconscious, hooked to machines that beeped rhythmically. His face was pale, his body still. Jessa burst into tears. "Dad, please, we need you." "Mom is gone. We can't lose you too." Jana held his hand tightly. "You have to wake up. The family is falling apart. Please don't leave us." But Jim Bob didn't move. Funeral planning under pressure. The family had no choice. They had to plan Michelle's funeral even while Jim Bob's life hung in the balance. Arguments erupted. Jill wanted a simple, private service. Jessa insisted they follow Michelle's original wishes. Jana wanted to delay everything until Jim Bob woke up. Joanna said the public deserved a statement. Duggar refused to involve the media at all. Stress exploded into anger, grief turning sibling against sibling. "How can you think about publicity right now? Mom would want us united. We are trying. No, we're breaking apart." The pain was too heavy for them to handle. The night of prayer at 11:47 p.m., the siblings gathered in the hospital chapel, something they hadn't done together in years. Jana started the prayer. "God, we don't understand your plan right now, but we need your help. We need Dad. Please give him strength." They cried. They held hands. They asked for forgiveness, for old fights, old resentments, old wounds. Something shifted that night. A quiet peace settled over them. Jim Bob awakens around 4:12 a.m. Jim Bob's heart monitor beeped faster. A nurse rushed in, his eyes opened slowly, blurry, confused. "Michelle, where is she?" The nurse hesitated. "Your children will explain everything." When the siblings arrived, Jana sat beside him. "Dad, you're safe." "You're okay," she whispered. He looked around, his voice trembling. "Where is Michelle?" The room fell silent. Jessa wiped her tears. "Dad, Mom is gone." Jim Bob's body shook with sobs. He covered his face, crying harder than any of them had ever seen in their lives. And, "Oh, Michelle, no, I can't do this. I can't live without her." The children hugged him, surrounding him in their grief. "You still have us," Jana said softly. "We need you," Jinger whispered. "We can't lose you too," Jill added. Slowly, painfully, Jim Bob nodded. The funeral day, 3 days later. Michelle's funeral was held at a private chapel surrounded by trees she loved, celebrities, former TLC producers, old family friends, church members, neighbors. Hundreds attended. The siblings sat in the front row, holding hands. Jim Bob, still weak, sat in a wheelchair. He spoke through tears. "Michelle was the strongest woman I ever knew. She loved God. She loved our children. She loved me more than I deserved. I don't know how to live without her, but I know she'd want us to stay strong." Jana's speech was the most emotional. Mom wasn't perfect, but she was pure-hearted. She taught us kindness. She taught us patience. She taught us to forgive. And today she'd want us to forgive each other too. The siblings cried and embraced. The world saw the broken pieces of a family trying their best to stay whole. The aftermath, the days after the funeral, were filled with interviews, condolences, online chaos, and endless discussions about what would happen next. But inside the family, something unexpected happened. Old wounds healed. Old grudges disappeared. Siblings who hadn't spoken in years reconnected. Jim Bob, though still fragile, slowly recovered. He leaned heavily on his children. Not as a leader, but as a man learning to survive his greatest heartbreak. A new beginning. 3 months later, the Duggar family gathered again, this time not for tragedy, but for unity. They visited Michelle's grave together. The pain was still sharp, but the love was stronger. Jill hugged Jim Bob. Jessa held Jana's hand. Jinga wiped tears from her eyes. Joanna placed flowers in front of the headstone. Jim Bob whispered, "Michelle, we're trying. We're staying together. Just like you wanted." The sun shone brighter that day. Warmer. Almost as if Michelle herself were smiling down on them. The legacy, though the tragedy changed everything, Michelle's legacy lived on. In the kindness she taught, and the strength she carried, and the unity she built. The Duggar family was no longer the same, but they were stronger, closer, and more human than ever before, and every sunrise reminded them of Michelle's favorite words: love each other. Always.